Welcome back to the whole home and to my wardrobe. We are going to go through some of the things we've bought recently at charity shops, which is one of our favorite places to shop, but specifically a lot of the gifts that we have bought recently, largely so that I can figure out what we've already bought. I tend to pop things away in the closet. That's why we're here, because I've just pulled everything out and then have to reassess and work out, okay, what have we got? How are we doing? What else do we need to find for the holidays? If you're new here, hi, I'm Kezia, and this is my 850 square foot home in the south of England where I live with my husband, 3 kids, and way too many ducks and lots of bees. But my goal on the internet is to make lower footprint, sustainable living feel less complicated and more budget friendly, because it really should be those two things. And I think the holidays are a time when it can feel so extra countercultural to stay on budget and to be sustainable. Gifting is obviously a huge part of that. We love everything secondhand, so we're just going to go through everything that we have bought so far. I'm recording this on the 4th of November. We try and start early because I think that's a big part of being able to have choice and shop carefully, is to get ahead of the game. So we try and start at the beginning of September so we can go really slowly and check charity shops lots, but whenever you're starting, there are options. So we'll just chat about how we do it and our mentality and things as we go through. If you want to watch more of a broad video on approaching Christmas with sustainability and budget in mind, I have this video, I'll link it below, that kind of talks more broadly about ideas and mentality and things like that. But we're going to just dive into a charity shop haul. This is everything we've bought in about the last month or 6 weeks. And I always forget things, but let's dive in. And you can, of course, hit subscribe if you want more of this kind of approach to the holidays over the next few weeks and all year round. I'm here with about a video every week-ish that has something to do with budget and sustainability. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's start with my bits that I got for me. We have been buying pretty much entirely secondhand for the last 3 years. At the beginning of 2023, we went on a no new clothes challenge for 1 year, and we kind of never went back because we did it for sustainability and it felt sufficiently easy that I couldn't find a reason not to do it. So most of our clothes have come from charity shops. I'll talk about why that's my top place. But I recently found these boots. They were 10 quid. Pretty much new. I have worn them every day since I bought them about a month or 6 weeks ago. I absolutely love them. And then this jumper that I found yesterday, I tend to kind of build a list in my head of things I want, but also hold it loosely because we're trying to base what we bring into our home not all on kind of a Pinterest board of what we'd like, because that's not always possible with values and budget, but more to kind of have ideas and then also look at just what's available and what we come across. So something like this jumper was something that I thought I really would like, a kind of slightly elevated sweatshirt top. And if I find it and it's a good price and it's charity shop, I will grab it. But if not, I'm happy to let that go or maybe buy something and stitch and modify it myself. I'm trying kind of learning how to do that a little bit, but also just holding it lightly. But I found this for 5 quid yesterday, 100% cotton. It immediately came home with me. I also found myself some tights, which I haven't worn since probably I was a teenager. I'm doing a lot of things at the moment that I haven't done since I was a teenager. I've gone back to university. I'm painting again. We'll get to that. But I found tights. I get freezing cold. Didn't want to buy new tights. They are just pretty much always made of plastic. So I was not going to buy them new. Now I have tights. Maybe I'll wear some of my dresses. The reason that we primarily shop at charity shops is a price, although that is really getting more and more questionable recently. But because charity shops are the last port of call for things that people don't want before they get shipped overseas, which has a whole realm of implications, not positive ones, or things do just end up in landfill. And so if we can take what's in charity shops instead of buying new things or even buying on Vinted, we definitely do that, but my top is always charity shops. Let's look at what we've got. this I've actually had for a while. I kind of keep, it's actually here, you probably can't see it, but a box of bits that I found in charity shops that I think might be good for gifting. I just don't know who to give this to. I've had this for a year. It's this, like, it would be an adult crafter, but you get to make this whole kind of flower shop scene. I'm just waiting for the right person, but untouched, crafty. Anyway, I have a whole box of things. I put this in there, but I think I'm going to give it to my girls this Christmas. It was $2.50. It's a whole lot of mini stamps and inks and things like that. That's going to go to one of them for Christmas. 2 of my kids have a birthday in the run up to Christmas, so the majority of our gift giving is this time of year. It means anything that they need, they just don't get for about September, October, November. And a lot of things that they need go in stockings, especially. So like socks and toothpaste and sellotape and those kind of like need/wants. But one of our kids has their golden birthday. So if you're not familiar with this, when the day that their birthday is on is the same as their age that they're going to be, it's their golden birthday. So we're going all out golden. Also, we're definitely into the whole K-pop hunters thing. The golden song, gonna be golden. That's gonna be the theme of the party. And I found this glitzy sequin zip up top, which I think will be perfect for a birthday gift to wear to the party. I would never buy sequins. Normally they're just tiny pieces of plastic that are going to hurt the environment. But if they're already in circulation, I'm happy to give them a turn and then pass them on again to someone else. So I am very excited about that. For reference, that was $3.99. The prices in charity shops are definitely rising, and I've been trying to get a charity shop to do an interview with me on this. It is understandable, and also I think because all costs are rising, but it also I think brings into question why charity shops exist a bit. Anyway, it's a whole thing, but costs are definitely rising. It's a question, and I think it's one we need a bit of education about and a bit of understanding, and it varies between charity shops. But costs are rising. My biggest tip for combating the rising price of things in charity shops is to do little and often if you can. So I work it in with food shopping and the school run, so I can just pop in, like look at a couple and then keep going. And often I come out with nothing, but it means I can actually kind of take my pick of the cheaper stuff rather than going in having to buy something and then it's just never so workable. Okay, this is my moment to say if you're watching this and I might be gifting to you this holiday, go away, stop watching. Most of this is for my kids, but stop. Family, don't watch. Okay, my mom has been wanting a diffuser because candles are really hard to buy, made with good ingredients, and they're really expensive, and I found this diffuser. Now, this one, it is perfect inside. The box definitely looks secondhand. So my parents know that we shop secondhand, that is our value. They are deeply in it. They know, and they are not the kind of people that will particularly care. They more care about the thought of the gift. And so knowing that they want this, seeking it out, buying it months before it's needed, that all communicates the value, even if the box is a little bit worn. It's a really nice kind of Scandi looking diffuser that I think they're going to love in their kitchen. But I think there are different ways, that's not going to happen. I think there are different ways to do the gifting secondhand thing. And we do it for all kids' parties. We do it most of everywhere that we gift. And a lot of people just know that it is our value. But some of the ways that I will do it are by combining something secondhand with something new. And I love to do that with kind of elevated consumables. So things that everyone needs. So maybe it would be thrifted or secondhand champagne glasses or a vase and then flowers or a bottle of wine or a really nice plate or a scarf or something I think someone would want with a nice bar of fair trade chocolate that's new. And so it kind of communicates this is a thoughtful thing I've put together. So that's one of the ways to do a combo gift. Another way that we like to do is just to explain. And I think when we are upfront with the fact that we're choosing secondhand, it goes a long way. Now, obviously, different communities are different, but we tend to say something like, we've done this a lot for kids' parties, saying, we've given you a secondhand gift. This is the way we shop for gifts. We love to take things that are already in circulation to take care of our planet and the people involved in the production of these items. We hope you love it, something along those lines. I think I actually last Christmas made some gift tags with wording on. If I can find those, like printable ones, I will link them in the description below. But I think there's many different ways to do it. And at the end of the day, we also get to own our values. We are not responsible for making other people happy. And so I think it's okay to own the way you want to gift. I think it's important that there's thought in it. But if the thought in it looks different to different people, I think that is okay. And on the flip side of that, a really important thing to remember is that it's easy to think about pleasing the people in front of us, the people who you're going to give the gift to. But actually, if that means an Amazon item with questionable sourcing that's not good for the environment, there is equally someone else in the world whose life is potentially being hurt by that item. And so we're valuing the person in front of us over the person who's somewhere else in the supply chain. And I think that's good to remember, to kind of get out of the mentality of, oh, but I can't be difficult. Oh, but I've got to make people happy. Actually, there are sometimes two sides to the story. But I think writing a note, being upfront, or doing a combo is my top way to go. Then I've got a lot of books for my kids this Christmas. They have, my older two, actually all three, are super into reading. Books really differ in price, and we do tend to go to the library, but sometimes I will find that charity shops have a kind of 3 for £1 or 5 for £1, and then I'm happy to buy them rather than go to the library. So few that I have got, these will go in stockings probably, or maybe be a combo of birthday gifts and stockings. Horrible Histories are an absolute favorite in our home. Then Michael Morpurgo, I don't know if that's how you say it, Morpurgo, is an author that my son has been loving. And so I got a few. They're all kind of animal war-based stories. He loves those. Then The Silver Sword, another war-based, he's obsessed with war eras, First and Second World War. So a few there. Okay. Then I stumbled across a charity shop that had a delivery of jewelry. And it was all kind of £20-25 items, really reduced. How much was this one? Okay, £3.50, and it is a little gold necklace with a pink pendant on it. And I think this is going to go in, my sister and I both have 3-4 kids. And instead of kind of doing gifts for everybody, shipping a ton of gifts, we are just each going to ship a box to each other of little things that we found along the way, drawings, little things like that. And so I thought I would pop this in for one of her children. Okay. Now, I recently did a complete clothes clear out for my kids, which was the best thing ever. I made them capsule wardrobes. My 7-year-old thanked me and said her clothes were so much less overwhelming than they were before. Highly recommend. We don't therefore need that many clothes. I know what my girls especially need, but I have been wanting to embroider a denim jacket to kind of maybe put a word across the back or put flowers on or something. So I think I'm going to make this a project maybe over the holidays to embroider some bits on it and kind of embellish the jacket. That was £4. So we've got that little, more of a project jacket. But I grabbed that. And then my son asked me for jumpers that weren't hoodies that had things on the front. And then I found this one, which this is what I'm meaning about going little and often, because I found this for £4, which currently for a North Face jumper, £4 feels amazing. He was born in California, so it feels like it has a little home feel. This is the North Face on the back. That's maybe one of my favorite items that I got. Then for one of my girls, I got one of these last year, stumbled across it because that's how these things happen. A little sewing kit. It looks like it's originally Sainsbury's, but it's just felt sewing, £2.50. That will be a gift, maybe a birthday gift. My kids love crafting, and I just found these selections of really fun glittery card. So I grabbed one for each of my girls of glittery card that they can craft with. Paw Patrol, colour my numbers. This will be for my youngest child. She will love that. That will go in stockings. I have a full roundup that I did of all of our stockings last year. My husband's and my 3 kids. It's just a very real life live that I did right here a couple days before Christmas. If you want to see everything that was in our stockings last year, I'll pop that one below. Oh my word, maybe this is my favorite. We had one of these before. My youngest child is learning to write and has completely fallen in love with writing. They also are all prolific drawers. We had one of these and it completely broke. She is going to love this. This will maybe be her main gift, because price is not a big deal. Where things come from is not a big deal to us. It's about the thought and what they will love. So this was $3.99. Might be her main Christmas gift, but it is a nice wallet, kind of feltish wallet. I'm gonna have to clean it up. It looks like it came from a home with a dog. We'll give it a vacuum, a brush, but it is one of these drawing pads. You can draw on the pad and then you click and it disappears. She's going to love it, and it comes in its own little thing. She's a very organized kid, so the fact that it has the it's gonna make her so happy. I felt so proud of myself for finding that. Okay, what else? Another jumper for my son. How do I have kids this big? I'm not sure, but we've got a Jack Wills yellow jumper, which honestly I might steal, but no, it's a kid's one. He's gonna love that too. Okay, we actually gave my son his birthday present, so that is taken care of happily. We took him to, my husband took him to a Connor Price concert in London, kind of like a family friendly artist. Experiences are often more expensive, and so we don't actually do a ton of experiences over stuff because the price tag can be really high on them, but we managed to get tickets for an incredible price, and that was like kind of a once in a lifetime to see his favorite artist in London. So he's already had his birthday gift. Okay, and then I found these for my daughter. My kids are not normal sizes at all, so these are 11 to 12 years, but they're for my 7-year-old. They're kind of sweatpant wide leg trousers, so not sweatpants, they're like real trousers but sweatpant material, which she's gonna love. And then for my husband, we do very like chocolate and alcohol and needed things for our stockings, but I found all of these. They will go in his stocking. And then I got these for myself again after realizing how much I actually loved having tights and being able to wear dresses in the winter. I bought another pair of tights for £1.50. They had some really like vintage ones that I think probably had been owned for half a century and never worn, which I kind of wanted to buy just for the amazingness of them, but I went for the more functional ones. Okay. A few more things. I'm happy to buy things in charity shops that I would never buy somewhere else because of their impact on the planet. If they're already in circulation, I'm a little bit more chill. My daughter found these. These are not a Christmas present. She bought these with her own money over half term. Slippers. She grabbed those. Okay. I think they were £3 they cost it. Right. The last few things. Some more books that I grabbed a while ago. More Horrible Histories. More Michael. More Pergo. Anyway, so that is those. And then some more little stocking stuffers. This is like a little sewing on paper cross-stitch animals, which I thought both of my girls would really love. They were from kind of a basket of bits in a charity shop. Really excited about those. You could also really easily make those if you wanted a little DIY easy gift thing, but bought those. And then I got some tattoos because they're fun and they make my kids happy, and they will love that those are in their stockings, which they know that we're the ones that do their stockings. Still a ton of joy, but we want them to know that we will always tell them the truth about things, and it doesn't remove the magic. In our experience, we still very much say from Santa, but everyone kind of knows, but we say from Santa. So there we go. Okay, and then the last thing, oh yeah, these were charity shop, just lots of little crystally gemmy things. I will probably cut that in half and put half or in 3 and put it in each of my kids' stockings. I might do that with these as well, cut them so I can put them in 3 kids' stockings because they will all 3 love those. Okay, one more thing. There are some things that just go down as like best things I've ever found in charity shops. I think this is one. I got this for me because it was real suede. It is a black suede jacket. I got this just a few weeks ago. I absolutely love it. This will be in my wardrobe forever. Real suede, and I think it was like £12. Okay. And that's it. Okay, that is where we are at for the holidays so far. So honestly, the combination of this with some little eaty bits, chocolate coins, oranges, of course, and then some standard things that we always put in their stockings, like paper tape, like an eco-friendly compostable sellotape, and pencils and paper and things like that we just do every year. Soap, plasters, band-aids, toothpaste, all of those kind of things. That will really be their stockings. We're pretty much done. Oh, wait, no, look at this. Okay, so I had this idea. Just stop watching if you're my parents. I had this idea. I used to paint in high school, and I had this idea to paint them a painting. So I got a canvas from a charity shop. It's so much cheaper than buying a new canvas. So I got a canvas for $6.50. And then we had some paint from our dump shop, which if you have not looked at whether you have a dump shop, reuse shop local to you, you need to find out if you have one. We have a Biffa one. So I took the canvas from there and some of the paint, and then I did have to buy more paint, and I've painted them a picture of a local scene that they really love. I don't know if you can see. Okay, but this is the Seven Sisters. So that is my gift to them. Charity shop, but reworked. So that's that. Then I decided that I really enjoyed that. And so I decided to paint another one. So I took another little canvas and painted another little scene here. And then I went out and bought more. So just yesterday I grabbed a couple more canvases. So this is, if you have kids, if you don't feel arty, which I hadn't painted for 20 years. How am I old enough to say I haven't done something for 20 years? I hadn't painted for 20 years. It was really fun. If you have kids or would like to try being creative, it's such a low stakes way to do it. I got this one for I think £3 that I'm going to paint over, and then this one for $4.50, which I will paint over. Someone said this is really beautiful. The actual quality of it is really bad. It looks like very high, big pixel. So we're going to paint over both of those. Stay tuned to see what happens with them. But great way to do a creative Christmas present. Give kids colors, let them do it. Multimedia, stick things on, paint a scene. Yeah. Okay, that truly is it. That is everything. That is where we're at so far for Christmas. I will keep you in as we get more things, but we're doing pretty good. I feel good. This is why we start early, but you still have time. If you want to go and watch that video about like overall mentality for Christmas, I will pop that one here. And I just published a what we eat in a week, which is another huge part of saving money and also being a bit sustainable with food at the same time. That's been one of my best videos ever that people have been enjoying watching, which makes me happy. And I will pop that one here too for the run up to the holidays. Okay, hit subscribe. I will see you in another video soon. I'm going to pack all this away so no one sees it. Thanks for joining.